Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Black's Watch Survivor, where we're covering season 48. That's such a wild thing to say. Of Survivor. I want to start off by singing Killer Kam Kam, Killer Kam
Killer
Kam,
Kam
Kam
Kam, Killer
Kam
Kam Kam, Killer Kam Kam. Now I gotta go listen to that.
It's her game to lose, and we're only on episode 4.
Yeah. My
'Cause- and
Guyanese queens.
yes,
My
and let me tell you, I was bored. I mean, I found things to laugh at inappropriately, but I was kind
Same.
of like bored until the end.
Yeah. I
Which is
I was mildly amused, but I like to people watch. So these kind of episodes are good for me
yes,
because I get to just observe, peoply.
yes.
Mhm.
Also something to tell you during the Patreon version. Music.
Yeah. I know, because there was a
Yeah.
part of this I was watching and I was like,
Yeah.
okay.
So let's dive in.
Mhm.
We're coming back off of a historic tribal council where Cedrek bitched out and decided to keep,
To discipline say
and marry like a
like a
father.
like oh yeah, it's not Patreon.
Yep.
Yeah, like a Faja.
Yes. Um, so I was annoyed, right? And so like finally Mary and Say are like, okay, we're gonna have to like, call a truce, we'll form NATO because now the tables have turned because now it's us two against Cedrek.
Yeah. Mhm.
Now, for the first time in I don't know how long, we start the episode off hot with Jeff.
Yeah,
Because
yeah, we did. Because I was like, I said a challenge so quickly.
yeah.
What's going on?
That's what I said too. I was like, "Oh, this is hot." I was like, "Some shit's about to happen."
Mm,
However, it wasn't a challenge. They had to drop their buffs and they had to mix and mingle and switch up teams.
yep. Hmm.
Now, what I tell you, the Green Tribe, Stay, Mary, and Cedrek, I've never seen. They shucked and jive. I'm not gonna lie, even Mary. But well deserved. They were so hype.
First of all, Mary's not dumb
No,
because Mary was the first
she's
one who
she's
was
going to
like,
the end. It's
yeah,
it's
yeah,
going to
yeah,
be Kamilla and
yeah.
Mary. Those are my two
It's
for the
it's
end.
got to be somebody plotting real hard against her later on for her to get out, right? Because she's not stupid. Mary and Say is not dumb. Say just too hype. She too crunk for Christ.
Yeah,
Mary's
yeah.
not stupid. So Mary knew first of all before they even switched. It's better for me and you to not even be doing this. She waved a real white flag, but like for her benefit in the long run.
Because
And
it's
then
it's easier to work with her than against her.
exactly. Then she did a very small but important thing, which is funny to me. She apologized to the niggas who were gonna get their camp before they got there.
Yeah.
So later on, when they merged, they can
Yeah.
remember
Yeah.
that she
Yeah.
gave them a fair
For a
warning that they were
warning.
going to the ghetto. So
Yes.
that
Yes.
was nice. And then these niggas walked in and lush, okay? They were like, we are in luxury. This is
Right.
incredible.
Because the Green Tribe all got split up and went to the different tribes.
Hmm.
Now, a key part of the story with the switch up is that Joe and Eva, that's her name,
Yes. Yes. I'll
they
get to
getting
that.
split up. And
Oh, yeah.
yeah, they
Joe and
get
Eva,
split up.
yeah.
Joe and Eva, they get split up. Remember, they're
Good.
like, I said the same thing.
I said good.
Which
And
is brings
then
me to the
and
only
then
part I have
she
to tell you
showed
about.
she showed her little asshole. And I was like, get
It was just like
get her out of here.
yeah, Patreon notes because I have a note. But it was very no, I'm gonna say it now. I find
Okay.
it very interesting that we just keep straight for the black girl, right? And Chris and I talk about this
Oh yeah,
often.
you can say that, please. Yes,
Yeah,
yeah.
Chris and I talk about this often. This concept called the black girl vote, and it's so like this underlying like microaggression that
Mm-hmm.
happens on Survivor a
Mm-hmm.
lot is that they always underestimate the black player, or they don't
Or they're
find.
highly intimidated, so they do everything they can to, and not in the
Yes,
playing the game fashion, in a
no,
true like, because Star ain't bothering nobody.
she ain't thinking or saying boo about that little white girl.
Star's probably hungry. She's
Mm-hmm.
trying to figure out where she can take a shit on the beach. You know what I'm saying? In peace. Like, she's trying to figure out how to decode this fucking this
Because that
fucking
also pisses me off. Because why the fuck have you not figured this shit out yet?
she's not figured out this buyer
We
beware in her
half the
pocket.
season is over already. We are
I'm
at
like,
the
girl,
merge.
if you don't get the puzzling, I'm gonna send you home.
Okay? Nobody wants to fucking work anymore.
Nobody wants to fucking work anymore, Star. So, but I am rooting for her because she is black. She has not proven me otherwise to not root for her yet. I have to
She's
add
the
that
one of the few
caveat in
black people
there.
that has not pissed me off yet. Because
She
Say has
ain't done
pissed me
good.
off, and Cedric has pissed me off. Cedric pissed me off more than Say. Say has not made
Yeah.
me angry. I've just been like,
Yeah, no,
girl.
say don't make me mad. Yeah, I just be like, simmer.
Yeah, like you good. Like I fuck
Right.
with the vision. It's just
Yeah, I do. Overall, the
yeah,
zoom out, we're here, but the zoom
yeah,
in, you've got
mm,
to tone it.
yeah,
So I need
yeah,
a little sepia from you.
yes, yes.
So, so here come Eva, which is another thing that pissed me the fuck off. I can't play a social game because I don't know. And no, I'm not being ableist. That's what the fuck she said. But you don't
Mhm.
get to sit up here and be like, I can't play a social game. And then come up here and be like, so let me tell you about this black bitch. She got an idol. She
Yeah,
got da 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 da. We got
she
to get her the fuck ASAP. Get that nigger out of here.
like it was like nobody. Get that nigger out of here.
Does everybody want to kill Star? Like it was like, what girl? Or whatever YouTube's version of that is, add me some sprinkles or whatever the fuck. But
Yeah,
I can't.
yeah, and that was that story. But the true heart of the matter is oh, the other tribe, right? With Siva now, right? So
Uh-huh.
with this new group, it's the white girl they all don't like.
Uh-huh. Charity.
Yeah. And no, I'm sorry. They switched it up. The new
What?
teams are
Oh yeah.
Kamilla, she's the only woman in
Mm-hmm.
a group of menfolk with
Mm-hmm.
Joe,
Mm-hmm.
Shaheen,
Mm-hmm.
Kyle,
Mm-hmm.
and um
Tomas.
mm, I called him Chris's ex supervisor.
Oh. 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 We'll call him WeHo.
Yeah, exactly. We hope.
But not for long.
No. And I also feel like Shaheen is as well.
I, this is not Patreon.
It's fine. You could be a little controversial on YouTube.
Okay.
Hmm.
Brave. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not mildly controversial.
Uh,
The crunchy ones, you just don't always know. You know what I'm
oh
saying?
yeah.
You
It's
know
like, are you gay or are you vegan?
exactly. You know what I'm saying? Are
Yeah.
those sandals sustainable? Like and
Yeah,
that's not
yeah,
and it's I don't
yeah.
care either way. I just
No. I
you
completely
just
understand.
you just don't know. You
Especially
just don't
here,
know.
because
Yeah.
he's also from Southern California, so I understand either, especially when men folk they wear a bunch of beads around their wrists and things, and a lot of bracelets. You just unaware, and you can't assume all the time. But I hear you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, but anywho, um, remember Camilla's team prior? They were very honest with each other. So they were very honest with about the who
Mm-hmm.
went home or what happened on the challenges or whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they did something this episode which I hate. Meanwhile, back or 3 months ago, this happened, a flashback.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So they Camilla's talking to the boys and she's like, I need to cause chaos and throw somebody under the bus because I know that me and Kyle are on the bottom. And she's already established that like her number one is ineffective.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
He's
Yeah,
just
but she's like,
effective right now because he has an idol.
right. Yeah,
Excuse me.
yeah.
And he's easy to manipulate.
It's like when you have a goat that you know you're gonna eventually cook and it's gonna be
Yeah.
delicious because you treat it with much love.
Yeah. But you do need
Hmm.
the goat to ride to put things on the back and carry it back and forth to market and things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that nigga's your companion, but eventually he will be your dinner. You know what I
Yep.
mean?
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So Camilla is like, hey, uh, she brings up like the journeys and things, and she exposes the fact that WeHo was lying to them because meanwhile, 3 episodes ago or last episode ago, Star and Camilla was talking down at the challenge when they sat out. We only saw a brief moment when there was like, "Hey, girl, how you doing?" They didn't
Hmm.
show anything else.
Nope.
Apparently, they had a full G8 conference about
Good.
gameplay and
Yep.
strategy and who smells at camp and whatever the
Yep.
fuck.
Yep.
And Star spilled and said that, oh, no, Mitch was like, oh, Tom, or what's it, Thomas said, blah, 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 blah. Camilla was like, that's untrue because our whole tribe was truthful. I know Mitch told the truth and told us and showed us that he had a block a vote or steal a vote, whatever the fuck he has. I was honest with my shit and I showed them the extra parchment. And there's only been two of these journeys, so I know what of you motherfuckers is lying. So
Hmm.
therefore, Thomas's WeHo's alliance, which is Joe and Shaheen, they're like, however, they don't really believe women like that.
Yep.
So
Misogyny. Misogyny is their downfall.
yes, but Kyle, this is how I knew Camilla was forced to be reckoned with because as soon as they got to that camp, she put on an
Say
epic
it.
show,
Say it.
and
Say it.
they were like, "Y'all know each other, fuck with each other." She was like, "I've never talked game with this man before in my life."
She's like, yeah, we cool ish.
Yeah, like I
But yeah,
know him.
and I will say the both of them, even ineffective Kyle,
He jumped
played
right in.
baby when I said thespians, you both of
Yes.
you.
And
And
they
Shaheen
ate
called it
that
out.
shit. That shit, they ate it up. They
Shaheen
believed it.
said, if y'all have an alliance, you are motherfucking Oscar winners. But
Yeah.
but I believe what I'm seeing right now, and they were playing this very, very well all the way to tribal council.
Mm-hmm.
But
Through tribal council.
meanwhile, WeHo is spawning nukes because Camilla exposed the business. So
Yes,
because
yes.
he's like, the only people who trust me here are I will have nobody if that is the case. I thought I was clean, my dirt was hidden. It always comes back to bite you in the ass, baby. It
Mm-hmm.
always comes back. And she is now his worst enemy. And so, he has a vendetta against Killer Cam, Killer Cam,
Killer
Cam,
Cam
Killer
Cam.
Cam, Cam.
Yeah.
Now, I would like to, before we get to this part, I just pause it real quick. They
Mm-hmm.
don't even let them bring deodorant.
No, you wash with sand. That's how you get the bacteria off, and hopefully you win fruit, and it contains lemon, so that you can
Yeah.
listen. That reward isn't just for sustenance. I'll tell you that, because I would
Oh,
have
yeah,
boiled
because you
that
keep the
shit and made an
pills.
oil.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
You're not wrong. I
Mm-hmm.
just, because I was like, when you try to sneak off to have conversations, let's say somebody's body odor is very strong. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's why. If you ever pay attention when they asked to hug Jeff, he'd be like,
Oh, because they're all musty.
Yeah.
I just was thinking that to myself. I was
Like,
like,
he'll say, "Yeah." In the beginning, he used to be like, mm. Now he's
mm,
kind of like he's still hesitant,
but
but
he'll
yes. Mhm. Mhm.
okay.
He'd be like,
I
"Don't
just
talk to me like
yeah,
that."
I was wondering about that. I was like, because I had a server the other day, and
Mhm.
oh my god, I was like, oh sweet baby Lord in heaven, I
Their
need
breath or their body odor?
the body,
Oh,
bod
no.
the body was crazy,
Oh,
and
no.
it was to the point like when they would like pour the water, it would be like, please don't over my water, over the other water. Oh, and then you don't want to be a dickhead, you know what I mean? So, and I've had coworkers like in the service industry where it's rough because they musty. So some people opt not to wear deodorant. Some people have strong uh body odors. You know what I'm saying? Some niggas eat a lot of garlic. You know what I'm saying? Like there's
Yeah.
different variables, and so it's hard to have a conversation like that with somebody. But I just wondered. I was like, in the sense of being secretive here. How do we do that if we all stink?
Right. I will say, uh, it depends on how you wanna play the game. People when people talk about Boston Rob and why he's such an iconic player, the reason why he's such an iconic player is because he never talked game with anybody. He talked
Whoa.
game to America. So all of
Oh, I
his
need to watch
gameplay
that.
is through confessionals. He will tell them like,
That's one
"I'll
of the
tell
most
you."
mentioned names I've heard in this short time I've been watching.
Yeah, and he's the most famous because he's gone on to do spinoffs. He had a show on
Okay.
CBS for his own. Him and
Okay.
Amber had a spinoff after he conned
Okay.
her into winning. Anyway, but what he would do, he would tap you on the shoulder and be like to pull the. He'll either give you two options and then he'll tap you on the shoulder to be like
Mhm.
if it's a go or not. And that was the
Mhm.
craziest thing I've ever. And he was like, "You have to play this game like The Godfather," and it worked for him.
Wow. And nobody
Yes.
else has ever been able to do that? Has anybody tried?
Yes, and
I
they've
haven't
all
seen it.
failed miserably. Now, it took him 4 times to get it right.
This is on All
N
Stars? Okay.
No, it took no, not even, because Rob was on season 4, which is
Mhm.
a iconic season. It's the first Black winner, um, in first Black winner and Black woman winner. Um, and then he went on to All Stars. They've only had, well, I guess if you could count it, but the first All Stars, which is 4 seasons later, that's when his girlfriend, now wife, won, and he proposed to her when she won, and then they
Got
had
it.
a
Okay.
spinoff. And
Okay.
then he played again, and he lost. Heroes versus
Mm.
Villains, great
Okay.
season.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
you always
and
bring that one
then
up too. Okay.
and then Redemption Island. That was the
Mm.
one he finally won.
Fitting. Okay.
And
Okay.
yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Now, back to this one. So
Mhm.
we get a moment between Cedrek and Mitch where they have a connection because Cedrek had a stutter as a kid. Um, what?
No, I was like, I thought that was their connection. Because
Mm-hmm.
Cedric was a stutterer too. I thought it was because they were
Mm-hmm.
both.
No, nigga. No. I don't
Oh,
think, or maybe I missed that part, but
because
no, it
remember,
was,
there's a part where he was like in our community, and I was like,
yeah,
because I can't
that's
imagine like
the
this.
stuttering community,
Oh well,
the speech
okay.
impediment community.
Oh, okay. I didn't get that. I knew he was talking to him about his speech impediment, but I didn't get that. I just thought we was just getting to know motherfuckers. You know what I mean?
Not
I didn't know like we was in community dive.
not you tuning out and making a completely
That's exactly what happened.
you fully made something up.
Cause my food came this morning.
No, so Cedric had a stutter as a kid. I felt like he would,
Oh.
and it gets tricky, so he started talking through like how he has been working through it his whole life, and how it's a constant
Oh.
struggle, and And then it made me wonder. I was like, I don't know. Well, I don't know too many white kids, but I don't know. I wonder what causes stutters because I have a lot of uncles who have stutters too. And Mitch was specifically talking about how the M sound was tricky for him. And
Mm-hmm.
I remember this is I'm just sorry in advance, YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, this was the 90s. We didn't have
Yeah.
rules
Yeah.
as humans.
Yeah.
So my uncle, one of my uncles in particular, who had the stutter the worst,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes he would be trying, they call my grandmother mama. And
Mm-hmm.
so
It would be a difficult thing for him to do.
yeah, but like, we were kids and assholes. So like, in the 90s,
Yeah. Yeah.
the 80s and 90s,
In the
we'd
90s.
be like, oh, so we'd be like, come on,
Yeah.
Uncle Moochie, get out. So even my grandma, she'd be an asshole about it too.
Oh my
So
gosh.
my family is the worst. So,
Ah,
but I was like, that made me want to look a little bit more into stutters because I don't think I ever looked at like maybe where some of
I've
the origins come from.
never I've
I never thought of
never
two.
thought about what causes stuttering. I've never thought about that. And I've also, to be honest, even when I was
Hmm.
working in public schools, when I thought I wanted to be a teacher at one point in my life, and in the special needs or courses and things, I've never saw a white child that had a stuttering problem. They had a different type of speech impediment
That's
issue,
why I'm
but
wondering.
they
You know
weren't
how like
stutterers.
the sickle cell trait runs
Hmm.
more prominently in us as a people. Now, granted, again, I've not been around a lot of white children, and I'm not
Sure.
saying they don't have it because they be having all kinds of other stuff. But
Yes.
I do wonder. I do wonder if there is something to
Oh yeah.
demographics in this particular thing,
I
and I
said the
want to look
same
into
thing
it a little
about
bit
Guillaume
more.
Beret as well, because I've only ever
Mm,
known that to affect black people.
mm,
Even though I know
yeah.
they ask it, but like, I'm not to say that I'm just like ignorant. I'm sure this happens, but
Hmm.
in stories and things, I saw what I come across.
Even like keloiding, like I have this keloid on my chest. I'm not
Mhm,
even a keloider, but
mhm.
a keloid right here is more common in Black, Latina, and Asian women. And I got two
Really?
out of three. Yep, because this is a sensitive area. They
Yeah,
say already on the body, it's a thinner
yeah.
skin. And so any slight trauma can cause a scar and cause a keloid.
Keloiding.
And so, that I'm like, why is that more prominent in Black,
And
Latina, and Asian women as opposed, like, it's just interesting how different
hmm,
things show up with different demographics.
right. So anyway, it's time for the challenge.
Hmm.
Um, they it's always so funny. Chris brought this up this morning. He was like, they always rely on the black people to do the athletic portion of the things. And then they always find out that we're not always the best at baseball, basketball, or whatever other sport. Because
Not
they had to
always.
do not always. And this challenge, it rang true,
But
right?
that's what y'all get for being racist.
Exactly. So like they get to the mat, we about to get to the challenge, and Kamilla is like, "Oh, this is going to be the first time this tribe wins today because that
Hmm.
green tribe has never won anything historically." Right? They're
Hmm.
playing for immunity and reward. The reward is fruit. I said Jeff is going to send everybody into a diabetic coma because and I was with say she was like, I want protein. They muted that, but I was like, I'm with you, Queen. Give me some
Why would they
eggs.
mute that? That's like, she didn't say fuck your mother. Like, why would you mute that?
Because
It's honest. I need fucking protein, nigga. I need fuel out here.
have I ever told you the Richard Hatch Coke story?
I don't
There's a reason
think
why they muted this. So in the very first season, Jeff tells a story about how the sanctuary had to get better. So, and during the first season, they were filming, and one of the rewards was just a bottle of Coca-Cola. And Richard was like,
You say the
now,
Richard Hatch. I thought you said cocaine.
oh, I mean,
Mm-mm.
yeah. But I
Okay.
mean, but yeah, but Richard was like, wait a minute. You want us to play for one glass bottle of Coca-Cola to split amongst motherfuckers?
That is diabolical.
So Richard led a protest, and so none of them went to the challenge. And so,
No, I'm unionizing against Survivor.
yeah. So Jeff and Mark Burnett were like, ah, shit, okay. What do we do? So then they invented the sanctuary. And so they were like, okay, instead of Coca-Cola, we'll make it like a movie theater. So we'll like provide maybe popcorn and like a movie or some sort of respite type of
No, give me
situation.
a fucking steak.
Okay.
Please. Like, I
Give
will
me a
cook it over a
cow.
fire at this
I
campfire.
I can handle the rest. Give
Would
me
they give
cattle.
them? Would they give them eggs or they gave them
Yes,
chickens?
the
Which one?
chickens. Yes.
Nobody cooked that chicken that season, and I was pissed about it.
There's a couple seasons where they didn't cook chickens. Like ties. There's a season, infamous season. So like Sia has been so much in my zeitgeist lately. So Sia is an avid Survivor fan.
Sia,
And Sia.
it's so funny when random people you find out are super fans of random
Yeah,
things.
her and Tyler Perry. Tyler Perry's actually invented a challenge
Oh,
that we see elements of still. Um, but Sia is an avid watcher of Survivor. She actually gives winners or runners up money every year. Like she gave Carolyn
oh.
$100,000.
You know she probably was super endeared to Carolyn.
Oh yes, but and I remind me to talk about Sia because Sia's gonna come up with the Patreon version. But
Okay, got me.
Sia watched this season of Survivor with this guy named Ty. Ty was from Vietnam, and so he was like taught everybody have to live off the islands because he was like, I'm from over there. And so so he
He
taught
said, "Nigga,
everybody.
this is Wednesday."
Yes, that's exactly what he said. So like that his tribe won chickens and he named the chicken Mark. And so well he kept one of the chickens and he named it Mark. He kept Mark all the way to the end. And so up until final 3. And so they had to give Mark away. And so when the finale, like the live reunion happened, Sia like gave Ty like $50,000 and then donated like $50K to like a humane society for chickens. Like,
Aw.
anywho, I forgot about the point is back to this challenge. Green team
Sorry.
sucked bad.
Yeah, they real bad.
Bid. Kamilla shot her gun too soon by saying that they were gonna get the W.
Yeah.
And
But they needed to because they all had to go to tribal council eventually. So now they have this stutter. I mean this. Oh my
pause.
lord. What?
Stuntman 4 Nipples lied.
But what?
Because remember, last episode he said, I'm on this because my girlfriend.
Oh yeah, he said his girlfriend broke up with him.
Yeah, in this episode, my girlfriend broke up with me. And this made the story even sadder because it's like, so wait a minute.
So now you're just trying to get her back?
You trying to win her back?
With money?
With money. I was like, we need to.
You
how
need
you
to cut
gonna
this
win
bitch
when
loose.
you ain't right within? Right. Like, you
And
need to have
speaking
some
of
self-esteem.
Back to aggravating ass fucking Eva, who did so we hit this transition of like Cedrek thinks that his whooping from last week that he gave Say and Mary was necessary. It was like loyalty first, and Say knows that we are. And meanwhile, we cut to Say was like, I don't trust that nigga whatsoever, and I'm willing to do whatever needs to be done to form other alliances. Get over to Eva talking to Four Nipples about how she doesn't get along with females because she like to bobsled and whatever else the fuck.
Whatever other white activity.
I
that they
said,
like to
I'm
do.
so ready for this girl. I'm ready to get this girl out of here.
I hate people like that in general. Not
Yeah.
just I hate like an acceptable ass bitch. You know what I mean? Like
Mm-hmm.
I hate
Mm-hmm.
like I'm not like the other whatever the
Yeah.
fucks. I'm
Yeah.
better. You know,
Yeah.
kiss my
Yeah.
ass.
Yeah, get out of here. I don't care if you're 12. Like it's like
Yeah, I don't give a
my
fuck.
my child know better than that.
Exactly.
So we're gonna see upcoming with them whenever they hit tribal council as a tribe now. Um Eva wants Star out. Remember, she's trying, she's racist. And then
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
she don't know
Because
it
she's
yet though.
racist. Yeah, she's unaware that she's racist, but she's being actively racist.
Yeah, you're being racist.
Yeah,
And she would cry right now. And I would have to
yeah,
continue to tell her, but girl, you're racist.
yeah,
So
yeah. Don't cry on camera. I'd have to be the
okay.
vixen. Yeah.
You need to go with
Hmm.
tone.
Yeah.
We see later on, whenever another episode comes up and they hit tribal council, this is getting ready to be a thing because she wants Star out, and Four Nipples. Remember, Four Nipples and Eva are now like, Eva's really trying to make this a thing. Four Nipples wants Charity out real fucking
They
bad.
all want Charity out except Mitch. I don't see what
Right.
Mitch sees in her, but they all were
You,
kind of. But
everybody
she
got a
thinks,
friend where all your other friends be like, why? And you're like, I get her.
yeah,
Y'all don't, but I get why y'all
yeah,
don't. You know what I
yeah,
mean? So,
yeah, yeah, yeah. We
I
have
don't,
that friend.
we don't get it, but Mitch does have a thing for Charity, but that's either going to be to his detriment,
I hope he
or
don't let it.
actually it's going to be to his detriment because Charity is an untrustworthy bitch. And I told you what my mother told me when I first started school. So
Yes,
we'll just leave it there. But she's untrustworthy and
and
she
it's
will get
wild for
Mitch out
even
before
Four
Mitch will get her
Nipples.
out.
I even wild for Four Nipples to even come out to be like, I don't trust this hoe. You know,
Mm-hmm.
he was even
Mm-hmm.
ready to stand 10 toes down for Kamilla. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like he don't
Mm-hmm.
he is not he is not into Charity.
No, not at all.
But
Um,
she's a little abrasive in
she
like a
is
nice
very
nasty
much
way.
so. No, she's very abrasive. Let's be the same
Yeah.
way that we said be like, yeah, she's the same fucking way, but
Yeah.
like in a less appealing way. I'm not saying
Yeah.
Say is the most appealing, but I'm like, no, y'all can get her out of here. She can go.
Yeah,
Say,
if
I'm
she
like,
went,
give her a chance to get a little warm. You know what I'm saying? She's ready to play, and let her like figure out her play for a little bit. I'm willing, I want her to stay around for a bit, but Charity can go. Um, so we get back to the other tribe with the Guyanese alliance,
Green
and they're
Tribe, they go to
still
tribal council
they're
tonight.
going to tribal council because they lost, and Kyle and Kamilla are still playing this game. Okay, they're on Broadway. They are in theater, and it gets to the point where Kyle's off somewhere. Thomas, Weho, and Shaheen, not Kamilla, but she's present. But she can't, act like this is causing any static. Decide they're about to go through Kyle's bag. Now, like I have told you before, I understand this is a game. I understand all of that. Don't go through my motherfucking bag. What so fucking ever. Or we're gonna have a real life problem, a real rice throwing, like tribal council right now problem. I'm about to be just like that little white boy if you all touch my bag. What happens if I got dirty drawers rolled up that I haven't had a chance to go wash in the ocean? You think you got a right to go through my shit with your dirty,
Yeah.
filthy fucking hands? I don't give a fuck about a game. There are boundaries, and this is one of them.
When I tell you, you had the same visceral reaction Chris has every time this happens. He has to stop it and has like a whole like meltdown. He'd be like, I don't like this.
Because you don't go through like, first of all, when somebody asks you to pass them when you have somebody you love, and you be like, "Can you hand me?" It's right at the top of, right in my bag. Just grab it out. I trust you. What happens? Whole bag, whole bag. Unless it's like your close sister friend, because my
Mhm.
sister friends we do that. But everybody else, XD himself, I've been like, yo, pass me the blah blah blah. This nigga can come in my house. Don't
None of my
touch
business.
people's fucking stuff. I don't give a fuck about no hidden immunity idols. I don't give a fuck what somebody might. You don't get to touch people's stuff.
It's so
It needs to be a
wild.
rule. I'm gonna, for the first time in my life, I'm gonna write a letter. I'm about to yelp out,
Have you
Jack.
been voting? Have you been voting for season 50? No, you have not.
No,
Okay. Because
yeah,
during the thing they advertised
I
to you
know.
get
Yeah,
to
they did.
challenge, like this week you got to vote on if they have let me look. It was so interesting. Well, let's continue this and I'll tell you what happened after.
So Kamilla got to play it cool while they do that, but she scurries off immediately and figures out how to, running past Kyle. They're going to your bed. Now remember, Kyle has an immunity idol, and the only person who knows this is Kamilla. Luckily, WeHo and Shaheen did not find that immunity idol in his bag because it was in his shoe. But she lets them know, so now he knows that because he said, "I'm not getting ready to do it, old girl." What was our homegirl's name? What was our homegirl's name who went home with the idol?
Oh, Sabaya?
No, other black girl that was gonna come on the show.
Oh, Tiffany.
Tiffany. He said, "I'm not. I've watched how this has played out. I'm not.
Yeah,
I'm
season
gonna make sure that
46.
I do
Yeah.
this." So he gets up there. Something's in my eye. He gets up there and he plays his immunity idol at tribal council, which then flips everything because he was absolutely the one to go home. It was between him and Kamilla, but ultimately, because he and Kamilla had this extremely quiet alliance, WeHo ends up going home based off of their two votes and him
Mhm.
playing his idol. And when I tell you Shaheen
Gooped, gagged.
gagged,
He
guffawed,
yes, he was so
it was like shock, stun, well fucking played. Like it was everything.
yeah, because he couldn't do anything but respect it, but he was just trying to figure out like y'all, because
How did y'all
he
do that?
realized y'all niggas is in
Y'all
cahoots
played me.
together.
You played me. You played me real good. You played me
But they,
good, but you played the fuck out of me.
but they were also very stupid because they put all the votes on Kyle.
Yeah. Yeah.
If
Yeah. Yeah.
Survivor 101, right? If you suspect there's an idol at play on the people that you want to get out, you gotta split the votes.
But remember, they didn't think there was an idol at play because they didn't think he had an idol because they went through his bag.
But
But
even
it's still
still,
stupid.
I
But
would do the same. I would do the same thing because if they play their shot in the dark, that could be an idol for them,
because
right?
nobody wrote Camilla's name down.
Nope.
So they left room for these two people in this idol to prevail.
Right. And she didn't have to even really use the extra vote or that she gave to what's it called?
Nope. Nope. So WeHo got his blunt put out and he looked like a wet cat.
Yes.
Ah!
Yes.
And that was
Yes.
that.
I know he called her all sorts of things
Oh,
and
he did. He still is.
yes.
Yeah. Yeah, he
Um
took that personally.
yes. But stay tuned for the Patreon version or log on to patreon.com to see the rest of this review. Until next time, bye.